Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ilya Belly here. I do coding stuff on YouTube. Check the description for all my information. I do all LeetCode problems. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a big thumbs up to support it, and this is called Decode Ways. A message containing letters from A through Z is being encoded to numbers using the following mapping. Given a non-empty string containing only digits, determine the total number of ways to decode it. As you can see, like A is represented like two, like one, right? And here input 12, so it could be decoded as AB, which is 1 and 2, like or L, which is 12, and here 226. So we say output 3 because it could be decoded as B and Z. 226, VF 22.6, or BBF 2, 2, and 6. We can solve this problem using dynamic programming. As you know, guys, there are a few ways to solve the problems using dynamic programming. We can use tabulation method, iteratively, bottom-up approach. We maintain an array, and we can solve like problems using recursion, top-down approach. We are using memorization. And to solve this iteratively by tabulation method, we need to maintain an array. I'll show you how to do that. And we do calculations based on the first number, and when we talk about dynamic programming, we think about the very last step. So first you need to create a variable n equals to n dot length, the length of that string. Next, if n equals to 0, you need to return 0. We return 0 because the length of that string is 0. Next, we create an array. We do our calculations based on the first value into that array, but here, like, the length of that array equals to n plus 1, and here usually we start from the index of 0, but in this solution we will start from the end of that array, and we will be moving backwards to the first element, and finally we will return the first element into this array. So we say array at n at the last position equals to 1, and then array at n minus 1 equals to s dot character at n minus 1 if this character equals to equals to to 0, right? So like here right? Like there is no example, but if this character equals to 0, we need to return 0. Otherwise, we return 1. We set up 1 to this, to the position of to the value of this position. So we say array n minus 1, 0, or just 1. And then we need to create a for loop. We are moving backwards, so we say int I equals to n minus 2. First, we set up the two last indices, right, into this array. We initialize these indices, and then we start from the third element, and we are moving backwards. We say we are moving backwards till I is greater than or equals to 0, and I minus minus. And in the case when we got like s dot character at the current position equals to 0, we need to just skip that iteration, so we say continue. And we calculate the result. We say array at I equals to integer parse integer. This method returns int, right? So we say parse integer at s dot substring, and here we take two digits into that string, right? Start from the position of I till I plus 2, right? The I plus 2 means exclusive. And if it's greater than, if it's less than or equals to 26, 26 because we got 26 letters in English alphabet. So that's why we say is less than or equals to 26. If it's so, then we set up, we say array at I plus 1, the previous calculation, the previous result here, plus array at I plus 2, the next previous, the previous result, like this one. And if it's not, like if it's greater than or just, you know, or just, yeah, if it's greater than 26, we say just array at I plus 1. That's it. And finally, we need to return array at the position of 0. That's the whole problem. One more time. First, we initialize an variable as dot length, right? Then we check. In the case when n equals to 0, we just return 0 because an empty string. Then we initialize an array to do our calculations, the length of that array will be n plus 1, and we start from the last element. We initialize two last elements, like here we set up to 1, and here we set up to we say s dot character at n minus 1 if it equals to 0, then we set up to 0. If it's not, we set up to 1, and then we are moving backwards, start from the position of n minus 2 till 0, and when we see 0, like s dot character at the current position equals to this character, then we just skip that iteration, then we just continue. We continue our iteration, we skip that position, right? So if it's not, then we say array at I equals to integer, parse integer as dot substring I till I plus 2. We take two numbers every time. We take two numbers, like this one, right? Then this one. In our string, and if it's less than or equals to 26, because 26 letters in English alphabet, then we add up these values at this position, I plus 1 and I plus 2. Otherwise, if it's not less than or equals to 26, we set up to array I plus 1, and finally we just return array at 0. That's it. Let's run this code. Hope that works. Yes, accepted. There we go. First try. Success. Good. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments below. I wanna know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a big thumbs up to support it again, and follow me on social medias. And see you next time. Thank you. Bye.